Station, everybody. Welcome to Supreme Clientele, episode 18, with our special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Nick from Comic Culture. Nick, so much. Thank you so much for making time for us tonight, man.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me, guys. I love the show. I'm glad I can finally be on. It's gonna be an awesome time, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Happy belated Halloween to everyone out there in TV land. I hope everybody had a great holiday. One of my favorites, of course. Guys, how was your holiday? Link, how was your holiday, brother? I know you didn't see much action at the door, unfortunately, but
yeah, I don't know if I don't know if like the area around here like they trick or treated a few days earlier, or, like last weekend or something. Like, cause it wasn't just my street. I was like looking like further down the street and like maybe not our street in particular, but I was like looking at people going down other streets and like I was looking for people, but I didn't see anybody, so it was just like dead. Unfortunately, that sucked. But yeah, I got to still do a kick-ass movie review with Verno and you guys yesterday, and a very divisive movie, Halloween. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, oh yeah, bro. And Nick, I know we were talking backstage. I know you did it up with the fire and the table at the end of the driveway, and of course, like I want to shout you out for giving out the big size bars, your big size bar house.
Well, my wife works at Costco, and so she just has access to that kind of stuff too. So like, her rationale is, we give out the full size so we don't get TP'd later in the night. So that's her rationale. In fact, our neighbor comes over and he chills with us, and he brings like a bunch of little bags of fun size stuff, and we pour it on the table too, because I have like a table full of candy. And whenever kids come up, my wife is always like, "We're the ones with the king size bars or whatever. He's the one with those cheap ass mini bars. So if you're gonna TP anybody, go across the street and hit him." So he loves that.
We're the good ones. We're the good ones.
Yeah, exactly. So we have fun with it, man. We had fun with it.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. It's great. Yeah. It's just one of the best holidays. And now, like, of course, Christmas already is ready to go and kick into full gear. My daughter told me Mariah Carey like unfroze herself. Apparently, she had some type of live video event where she came out, like got thawed out of the ice, and like announced that that's the announcement of like Christmas season being upon us. And
I saw something, but I didn't know what
the deluge.
Did you guys see the they did like a quasi Mean Girls sequel for a Walmart commercial? It's like it's got everybody like Lindsay Lohan, Lacey Chabert.
Oh wow!
Yeah, even the rapper. Do you remember, if you guys are familiar with the movie? It's like what was his name?
Yeah.
Kevin, something like that. But yeah, it was crazy. It just came out today, I think. But it was interesting. Cool. It was like 5 minutes long, just to promote Black Friday sales.
Damn.
Hey, she got paid, I bet.
For sure they all did. That's crazy. Cool. I think the day before Halloween, I was in the grocery store and saw like the Christmas train display with a bunch of Christmas cookies and everything on it. I just want to man. It's just too early, man. They just violate, and it's like, I know spooky season is at least a month long, but Christmas it's a 2-month affair, and I don't know. I'm really not ready to hear that music yet, but it is what it is.
For sure.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Lord.
So some great books tonight. A couple Skybound Image books. I thought we'd go ahead and start out with our guests. One of our guest choice,
sure.
Man number 37.
Yeah.
Another crazy entry in a chapter into the Ice Cream Man mythos. This one dealt with some heavy topics, suicide, and a guy kind of leaving behind his intellectual, his creative property, and his brother and sister kind of there to clean up the mess in a metaphorical sense, I guess we could say. Nick, anything you want to say just off the bat about this one?
Yeah, it's I love Ice Cream Man. I love the entire series. I jumped on board somewhere probably in like the teens, and then I went and backtracked, and then I've been a monthly subscriber of it ever since. And this particular issue, there's just so many layers to it, and I feel like this is the one that's lasted the longest, like in the back of my mind for some reason. And I'm still trying to reconcile that, because I think it's so heavy, like you just mentioned. It tackles a lot of interesting things. But yeah, I guess we can get into a little bit more as we go here. But yeah, it's just weird how much it's lingered in my mind, and I don't know what that says, but yeah, it's odd.
I agree. No, and I've been trying to figure out the metaphor of like what these creatures and their struggle and kind of what they're going through represents and what he was trying to say. I think about,
I got some ideas, but
some of the greater battles that the creator was obviously facing. But yeah, just to take it off, it like we don't really know what's going on. We know we're outside a house, but then it kind of turns into the what are their names officially? The Giggly
the Giggly Winks. Right?
Giggly Winks.
Giggly Winks. Yeah.
Giggly, yeah. I think the Giggly Winks. Right. And Homeboy has gotten drafted, right? And he's given the news to his girl.
Yeah.
And she's, she's my Pussykins, and the languages just over the top marshmallowy, just type of cutesy blootsy wootsy type love language. And just like kind of like a bizarre another great bizarre just kind of like knock you on your socks type intro from Prince. That's what I love about this book. You never know, like opening the cover, diving into page 1, dude, you have no idea what crazy ass shit you're about to step into. But then it kind of pulls back and we see brother and sister in the basement, and we kind of figure out like what's going on, and I guess a little bit more of a context to
quick question. This is very random, but when reading this particular page, did you guys get the idea that it was like their father at first before they started talking about that? Like that, I don't, for whatever reason, I started like, oh, their father. I think I was thinking of Public Domain. You know, like, cause I thought like they're going through an old comic creator's work and stuff. I thought like Public Domain popped in my head, and I thought like this might have been like their father before they said it was his brother.
I don't know who I thought they may have been referring to in the very beginning of the story, but I feel like I naturally went to like a sibling pretty quickly without really even thinking about it, to be honest with you. But there is I don't remember if there's any context clues that would kind of be elusive at the beginning, besides the family photo just having a mom and dad and 3 kids, and now there's only 2 kids. So I was like, oh, that's odd. Yeah. So I wonder if that's why I landed on a sibling so quickly, and never had any kind of time to was that dad or was it not,
You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, so continuing on, we see, I guess, Homeboy goes to boot camp and they have like these marshmallow guns, and we're not really certain. I guess I didn't realize like exactly what type of enemy they were gonna be facing. I forget what they referred to them as, but
the Babats.
Yeah, and so you don't really know like what that means, but like robots against these type of things. How is that going to look? But Sarge certainly doesn't mince words when he's trying to prepare these young recruits for
that's for sure
faces them on the front lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like so it and it like the narrative bounces back to the conversation between brother and sister and like the nature of suicide, which this was the best part of the comic, I thought, to me, because I think a lot of people have had this conversation or something close to it, or even if not in a real life situation, and more of like a philosophical debate. I think it's it's a depression and ending your own life is a heavy cross to bear, I think, for anybody experiencing it themselves, like with suicide or the people around it. And I think a lot, obviously it's a multi-layered seen through many lenses type of deal, but I thought this was a fascinating back and forth like viewpoint, like of the 2 main viewpoints on how it can be seen. And like there's the I guess like the also religious element of it, I guess, which is more with where the sisters stance on it seems to be based from.
Yep. And it's a conversation that like you can imagine at the end of it, like you can see both sides. So there's no winner here. Okay. You know what I mean? Like that's the interesting thing. I think they beat each other down to the point where they're like they both realize they're not being productive anymore, and that the other one is never going to really see the things the same way, and they're just kind of like, okay, can we all agree on this level? And like the answer is yes, and then they can kind of go through and embrace, and then keep doing what they came here to do. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both valid arguments for that topic. You could both argue both sides of that stance very strongly. So it's like Nick said, they had to meet in the middle and just kind of like, let's veer away from that.
Yeah, and it's got to be like, as the family member, the closer you are to somebody in that situation when that happens, like the more you have that survivor's guilt where it's what I could have done, should have done, especially as a family member or a sibling to somebody. Those thoughts and feelings and emotions are all super magnified. So they're also trying to sort through like their own guilt and angst about like what we'll get to it. But I love this the last line. I think when guy's walking up the steps, he's like, "I'll never get it." There's this sense of like there's this longing for answers and more definitive, I guess, outcomes. But like I love like that nobody really gets the answers they want here,
and I think there was a double meaning there that I'm trying to think through still.
He was I with Nick, I thought he was like kind of referring to like he never understood like his brother's books had a following. He said people love this stuff, but he never got it himself. Kind of like people around us don't get our love for comics sometimes. Like they're never going to understand why we like to get lost in these create our own worlds. And like what this story right here for me in particular, the Fuzzykins story or the Giggly Wink story that was going on was like an analogy for Nam, pretty much. Like they were just sent out there to die, like no matter what they would have done, they were ill prepared that entire war. I guess that I don't know. I was like that. Nam thing kind of threw me off. I didn't get the reference for it, but I was looking at it from the stance as like his brother just saw these cute little things happening, but within this cute world his brother had created, he was leaving a message, or he was leaving messages, poignant messages. And there's stuff to be found if you're looking for it. If you're not bothering to look for it, of course you're never gonna get it. It's just pictures and stuff's happening. But it was a double meaning, like Nick said. I picked up on that as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like if he actually flipped through the story, he would have seen the breadcrumbs that his brother was leaving about his emotional state through the stories he was writing. And it's clear that he probably wasn't reading them. And so therefore he's missing all these clues. And then everything you just said. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that's why I was trying to go back and study the story here, because I feel like there's some parallels, obviously, between that story and his emotional state that, we could draw conclusions to. And I think I have a couple ideas on what some of those might be. But we can continue.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and get into those, because that's what I was going to talk about next. The breadcrumbs, like this right here, I think is heavy.
Well, so I mean, the story opens with these cute things, and he's leaving a loved one who's pregnant. So I'm wondering if he had some kind of a relationship at some point, or some kind of loss or something like that in his life, and he had to then leave that family that he had, or something like that. There's no other context clues to that part, but I'm just wondering, it was an interesting thing to have that heartbreak in the very beginning of the story. And so that was kind of the first part. The second part was him going into basic training, and he has a lot of hope to be a good soldier, and he has a lot of hope, but he knows he's going to go there to obtain the tools, either physically or emotionally or whatever, to take on the challenge that's coming ahead. And he's becoming very proficient in whatever training he's going under, right? He's hitting the target right in the center every time. He switches to like a grenade launcher looking thing, or an RPG, hitting the target every single time. Everybody else is missing. So he thinks he's on the right track. You know what I mean? He thinks he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he's heading in the right direction. But as we know, when the actual battle comes to him, he's not prepared at all. And it turns into a complete bloodbath. And what kills them, it's just this complete emotionless, sterile, it doesn't even talk. and it just annihilates everything. And so it's almost like it's like that unpredictable force coming through that just wipes you out, perhaps. So no matter what he did to prepare, how good he was, it wasn't enough to take on this threat.
And I think like some of that is like with depression is like some of the ways that they tell you to like get over it. It's either like the tough love, or it's that overly soft, like cheer up and be happy. And I don't know. I thought some of that like were like a kind of approaches to trying to, fight those thoughts, or, fight going down a dark path or a dark spiral.
Well, that's a good point, because those are very common things that people say to people when they think that they're being helpful, and people are in that other mindset. Because what did he do to prepare for the battle? He trained on all these forms of combat that were completely useless against the threats that were coming, So maybe it was like, I'm getting all these false tools or advice on what I should do. And then when that thing actually comes at me, it's all completely useless, and I don't know what to do anymore,
Absolutely. So, and I love, like you said, like just the overwhelming like coldness and just heartless destruction of the enemy. Just like how it was never going to be a contest in the first place. I thought that was just like so well done. But yeah, it just definitely felt like each of these little interspersed narratives was like a different episode, like you were talking about from the beginning. Like, maybe you had a situation with a loved one, or a girlfriend or something like that, or something happened with a child or something like that. Like, all of these seem like little chapters in his life that inevitably probably led to this sad final conclusion. I don't know, but I don't know, like you said, dude, it just like to me that's always a sign of a good book is how long it kicks around and stays in your head. And this one just found a way to like worm its way in and stay there. That's the thing, sometimes you don't know if you're going to get like sadistic delight with this book, or you're going to get books that like on the surface people reading kind of this one maybe don't expect it to go that deep, but then like just the way it finds ways to like like I said, just worm its way in it and establish itself in the back of your mind is incredible to me. I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so the ending, of course, should what the little heart thing he's 4 times dead, which means he's really dead. I was trying to figure out what that meant.
I still haven't figured that out yet. Why would you introduce your fictional characters? Why would those characters have like 9 lives like a cat? And there's specifically 4. And they mentioned at the beginning, and they mentioned that maybe in the middle, and they mentioned it at the end. So there's got to be something to it, or else why would it exist? Why would that be a thing? And I can't figure that out yet. And that drives me crazy too. I'm like, okay.
What's quadruple shit?
Yeah, and it's the locket too. Like it's like glowing, right? Like it's pulses, and then when it's not pulsing anymore, that means that he's lost all 4 lives or something like that. It was just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But and so like we were talking about earlier, I'll never get it, I guess, is his last line as he heads up the steps. And like you said, maybe there's just like maybe there was a bridge that he was never going to be able to cross. Obviously this family seems to have been split kind of differently in some kind of way. Like the brother and sister seem to be on different pages as far as like where they're at in life. So and I think that's very true of anybody who comes with, who grows up with siblings. We all react to life differently, and develop differently. Even if we grew up under the same roof, I don't know, life throws a lot at you sometimes, and people react to it differently. So I don't know. Sometimes you can see I feel like the cracks in a family sometimes through those type of conversations.
Yep.
But another great issue. I don't think it's like rereading that. I reread that children's book issue, like issue 20, I think. I don't think it has this book has quite the same raw energy as it once did, like starting out, but I still think it has more hits than misses, and when it hits, man,
still an effective book.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this year of Ice Cream Man has been a little bit less, like you said. Yeah, there was a couple, like the whale issue was a little bit of a miss for me. There wasn't, there was some themes there that were pretty cool, but there was but this one right here, this one stuck around, so definitely wanted to bring that one up. I liked it.
Yeah, great pick, dude.
Thanks.
All right, Link's up next. Link with the wild card pick, I would say. Marvel Zombies, Black, White, and Blood.
Oof.
Got a crazy Gabriel Dell'Otto main cover right there.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, Link, why'd you pick this one, bro?
I'm a big fan of zombies. I love Marvel, so I loved Marvel Zombies when it came out. So I mean, I'm always looking for a nice little Marvel zombie tale. I like that brand. So when I saw this was coming, I've enjoyed for the most part what they've done with the Black, White, and Red series. So I was like, why not? It's Halloween or day before Halloween when I recommended this book to you guys. But yeah, and it's anthology series. I figured it can't be that bad, and it's got some. It's nothing special. It's just got like I think the most notable talent in this book is probably was it Ennis or was it? Yes, I get I get mixed up sometimes. But
you had the first and Rachel Slott, and then Alex Segura, Javi Fernandez, and Ashley Allen, and Justin Mason. I've only heard of Ennis, Stott, and Segura. I hadn't heard of Javi Fernandez, Allen, or Mason. But I like Fernandez's art a lot, and actually, I like both of the. Yeah. I liked all the art in this book. I thought it was all pretty unique and cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. First short story is just a nice little. It's a Daredevil zombie story. With a little splash Punisher. You don't really see Punisher, but it's Punisher. You see his like silhouette. But I just thought this was an interesting little story. Like there's a moment in here where it's like we're seeing the inner narration from Zombie Matt, and I just thought that was kind of cool. I hadn't really seen that too often. I mean, in Marvel Zombies they talk, the regular series, but as a mindless zombie, you never really see too much inner narration. So I thought that was an oh, it's right here, that second page.
Top right,
yeah.
But yeah, just a fun little quick story. It showed that heroes can still be heroes, even as the undead.
Absolutely, yeah. This one was cool. Like, what Matt Murdock's basically in a fight club, right? And he runs through zombies, and they throw him in a pit and feed more zombies to him as a reward. And then it's such a Garth Ennis story too.
Yeah.
So Frank Castle shows up above his cage one night, and he's like, "Matt, I heard they had you down here." He's got a whole thing of Claymore mines. So, which if you know Frank loves his Claymores. So he offers to Daredevil to make it to take them all with you tomorrow or whatever. And
I like how he said he's like, I can end it now or whatever, or you can like help me take them with you, or something along those lines. Like you can take out some of them tomorrow, and shoves him full of fucking C4. I don't know how no one noticed all that.
Yeah, I like how one of the guards is like he's awful quiet. Did he get overfed or something? Did we feed him too much? And dude's just like all sewed up, like he's obviously full of explosives.
Wow, he's working out weird, man. He's got some interesting muscle tone. Yeah,
he looks crazy. Yeah, he's all like lumpy and stuff. And so it ends with the explosion. Frank walking away, pressing the button on the explosion, the explosives or whatever. So yeah, a good, a solid, I guess, opening entry, a solid enough opening entry from Garth Ennis. Nick, what did you think about this one? Man?
I like the art of it. I just like how ridiculous it is, to be honest with you.
It is ridiculous.
I had immediate thoughts of like, there was a Moon Knight issue it was a one-off where he goes to jail and basically infiltrates the system and gets into a Fight Club situation just to get back at the guy who was like harassing this girl or something like that. And as soon as I saw him inside like the cage and stuff, I had immediate flashbacks to that, and I thought that was an awesome issue. And so I was like, oh yes, this is great. But then when I saw the whole Claymore situation going on, I'm like, this is ridiculous, and I'm all for it. Like, it was so cool. And the black, white, and blood motif with like everything's black and white, but then you have your main character and you have your accented like in panel fonts and stuff like also red. It was really cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's always fun to see like what the artists can do with it, with the color palette, and like how they can make it pop, and like you said, accent different things. But it was proper in this story for the first one. The second one had Spidey basically trying to save what was it, zombie Aunt May and I guess other friends at the Bugle. Yep. I love the artwork in this.
It was good.
Yeah, certain panels gave me like, not completely, but certain angles are put, like the way it's like that thwack panel. It like reminded me of Chris Bacalo a little bit.
Cello. Yeah.
Cello.
Good call. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find that. Well,
but it's definitely like manga influenced as well.
It does, it does seem like that. But I would just love the way the reds popped on this one.
That top left panel up there is very manga-ish for sure. Just like that screaming face with the speed lines and stuff, and like the coloring. Yeah, that's right. It is very manga. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was like, I guess, my second favorite in terms of the three. I thought this was like, and they had a nice little, zombie Aunt May begging to be killed. It was a nice little touch of emotion, I guess. As much as you're going to get out of a couple page story, but
right. I respected that it nailed Peter's sensibilities and his, him down in such a. I mean, everyone knows Peter Parker, but for first, I mean, I'm assuming this might be like the first time writing Spider-Man on page, a first time writer to nail that down in a few pages amongst the zombie apocalypse backdrop. I respect it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude. Yeah. All right. So the last one had Moon Knight. This one again, art. I love the art in this one. What did y'all think of this one in general?
I dug it. I would have liked to see it fleshed out a little bit more, because I know the short stories, but I wanted to see more. What Tony was obviously already undead and get like an undead Avenger squad. The art stood out the most. Art was badass.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like kind of Daniel Warren Johnson vibe to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say James Harron a little bit.
Oh,
from
Ultra. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, I can see that.
They didn't do as good a job in this one with the blood aspect in the black, white, and blood. I felt like the color. We talked about how the color pops in the other two. Like this one right here, it was just saved for Iron Man and some blood shots right here. Yeah, but I think the theme. Yeah, the theme of this series is the color scheme. Right, like that's the theme of it as well, and I don't think they executed it as. I mean, this is an early page because of all the blood splatter, right? But I think the other ones handled that aspect better. And I mean, like it was cool. The art was killer. It was a lot of action and a lot of cool fighting and stuff. But like, there wasn't as much there, I don't think, as the other two. So
story wise, I agree with Nick on the whole color palette thing. They could have found ways to put red a little bit more throughout the Moon Knight story, or to utilize. I mean, it got better with these panels, but earlier on it was a little weird just to see Iron Man just the only red dude.
Right. Yeah, they could have done a little bit more. And that was a shocking scene when he flies in, right? And that's the first time you see him. Like, I think that was a good shot.
It was with the moon in the backdrop.
With the moon, that was killer, man. With like that weird like galaxy artifact that he throws back there, and the sketchiness of it, which we already covered. Yeah, it's a dope shot right there.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Yeah, dude, solid pick, Link. Like I told you
cool.
before in the chat, I have a little bit of guilty pleasure for the black white. I love like the Batman black and white books are how I got hooked onto these type of these type of releases, and the Wolverine one, the black, white, and blood one, for that I enjoyed. I thought it had some dope stories, dope art, and really good covers throughout that one. So yeah, man, solid little sleeper choice, I thought.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next issue number 2 for this series. Just by the cover alone.
Cover. Yes.
It has Daredevil zombified over Elektra's tombstone.
Yep.
So and it's like raining and stuff. So yeah, that was a cool little coming up next kind of thing.
Hell yeah! Do you know who the creators are going to be on that one or no?
I got it pulled up, but no, I don't. I just see the cover right now.
Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, word. Well, all right, we'll go with my first choice. Void Rivals number 5. Really been digging this series overall as the plot thickens with our 2 pilots who, I guess one turned on the other, but now they're in a situation where they should have stuck together. One still kind of wants to. The other's kind of given up hope, it would seem like, but another solid issue I felt like in world building and character building, strengthening the arc for both of these guys. A little bit of a tie-in to the Energon thing, I think, with a couple of lines and panels. But what did you guys think just in general about Void Rivals number 5? Link, I'll let you go first, bro.
I enjoyed it. This has been a surprise hit for me. I think just because I want to get more entrenched into the Cybertron universe, the Transformers lore, and I knew this was like a precursor. This was the first launch for Kirkman for the new Transformers world he's building. So I've been enjoying this since issue 1. I think he's done a great job at building Solila and Darak, if I'm pronouncing the names correctly, our 2 pilots, our heroes. Darak's got like this devil may care attitude. He's kind of like, he's just kind of laid back but he goes with the flow. And Solila's very disciplined and stern and cold. But they've had a great rapport bouncing off of each other. This issue was interesting. I felt like it introduced, like you said, a little bit more of the Transformers connection with the whole Fable. Back us up on this. I'm going to butcher this, but the 4 heads, right? The quintessence.
Yeah.
That was cool to see them. And I'm so curious now, like, does this take place in the past of Transformers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because because if you read Transformers 1 and you read Void Rivals 1, there's a common thread there, not to spoil it. And one has to happen before the other because there's a passage of time and or distance that needs to, be had for those 2 to happen.
You can go ahead and spoil it if you haven't, guys. I feel sorry for y'all if you haven't read Transformers number 1. Go ahead and say what the common thread is. It's okay.
Well, now you're testing my memory on what the actual who the Transformer was.
Was it told us
Jetfire, Jetstream, Jet something, I can't remember. But there's a transform. So these 2 Jetfire.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie. He's probably
screaming
at. Sorry, Link.
No. Thank Robbie, but no, sorry.
Yeah,
no, I'm fucking. Yeah, that's why I put the pressure on you, dude. I can't when I had to get Fable on the show because we were trying to go through everybody, just starting off from everybody on the ship. Man, I am not like all those names just kind of run together for me. So I feel your pain on that.
No, yeah.
Jetstream, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's Jetstream. Come on now, that's not too far off.
Yeah. So admission time, I know embarrassingly little about Transformers.
Same.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I couldn't name more than 5 characters total. So I'm just like, I can't even go in that direction. So when I read Void Rivals and I see all these cool things happening, and I have to assume that they're from the Energon universe, and you know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Right. So that's a thing. So I see these heads that we were talking about before. I'm like, I guess that's a deep cut or whatever kind of a cut it might be.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's enough like set dressing on those pages or those panels to know like that it's a tie into, or at least so you can appreciate and access that fact. You know what I mean?
What's annoying though is when you're reading the book and you see a character and you're just like, who the hell is that? And you go on the forums and stuff and people are, oh my God, did you see that so and so was in there? I'm like, yeah, I did. Well, good for you. I'm glad that your childhood is blown up here. So Optimus Rhyme and Jar Scream. Yeah, exactly. That's
Jar Scream.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Nick, how did you feel in general about this one? I didn't really get your thoughts in general about it.
Oh no, I think it's solid. I'm interested in the politics of the two cultures, and I like the relationship these two people are having, and it's fine. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's not like it's one that I look forward to all the time. But again, I'm missing in on the in jokes. I feel like when I read the book, and that's fine because I'll learn this stuff as I go. But it's like I can see how if you were a big fan of all this stuff, you're a big Transformers fan and you knew all these characters and you're reading this book, I bet you're having a hell of a time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
That's why I told Fable, like I'm super happy just to see anybody like, you know, we all had those franchises we had those lifelong loves with, and just to see it get like, you know, your favorite create like a Daniel Warren Johnson, and you know, he's shooting Bumblebee in the face in the first issue. It's like, dude, that's just like, that's on 1,000, I'm sure. So
what is it? The third print or second print, whatever came out this past week for Transformers 1 has that Bumblebee cover with his head just blown off. It's awesome. I thought about picking it up and sending it to Fable.
Oh, Fable got 2 of those. One to rock and one to
rock. That's right.
Anyways. Say what, bro?
I said it's an important cover. It's the death of probably. I don't think that's Fable's least favorite Transformer, but he just didn't appreciate how they elevated him in the Bayformers. So, but I know that cover, that third print, holds a special place just because it's like a Michael Bay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like making 9 movies about the Skywalker family. It's like there's other people in the universe you could focus on. You don't have to go back to the same guy all the time.
Damn.
I love that he got to thank him like basically right after that issue came out too, like in person for doing that. That's great. Like I'm glad he got that moment. Dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Fable. So yeah, we open up. These two are in the cell together. Homegirl's defeated, apologetic. I'm sorry that this happened. We should team up or whatever. She doesn't want to hear it. By the way, they're probably going to torture you before they kill you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And then pretty much at that moment, cell opens up, homeboys come in and knock him out. Then we get a little bit of character building background on Homegirl. This reminded me of those, what's
Benny Gesserit?
Yes, bro. Did it not give you Benny Gesserit vibes? Like totally. Mm-hmm. They gave me Benny Gesserit vibes all the way from Dune. The Society of Witches, I guess, is how else would you? That's just a very poor description of what they are, but
that's actually what they. That's not a bad description.
Yeah, but super powerful, politicking witches.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so we find out that she's basically became a pilot, after leaving this coven or whatever that she was down with, and they're there in a weird way to give her a gift. They said, that they've seen her journey and they've seen her lighted path, and that it doesn't end here with her dead in the cell. And then we get our Transformers tie-in, like you guys were saying. The Sharkticon thing is what put me on to like, oh, this is definitely them saying we're going to feed you to the Sharkticons. Was like,
that was a bit on the nose. Yeah.
That's how old Stu figured it out.
Yeah. I bet that's a reference to Transformers. I would bet my money on it.
That's on the back. But yeah, I love the artwork through this, man, by Di Felice. I love all the different faces. I love the lighting on that. And I also like the makeup of this character here, this Scullix or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy from the I guess the bounty hunter from earlier on in the series. I like the way he looks.
Yeah,
I like that character design. Character design's been pretty solid throughout. I feel like in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
And then that there's a panel of the cover. Yeah, I think you passed it already. But when the dude's chained up, like the anatomy of that is so painful.
Oh, how he's.
Oh
yeah.
You had it somewhere. That one. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got.
Yeah.
It got this like why he's been tortured for days and days, and
yep,
he's got like the wire hangers on.
Yeah, it looks.
I like this scene because he's like going delirious. He's like calling out for handwriting. He like looks up and he realizes he doesn't even have his handwriting. And he starts laughing and shit. He's just bad.
So what was this? Like, did he just was able to slip free, or like I was trying to understand.
No, the girl came.
That confused me at first too. I thought he had looked up and slipped free, but no, essentially he was asking his handroid to help him out, and he was kind of delirious. Like he looked up and saw that he didn't even have his handroid. He was still like he was stuck.
Yeah, so because the girl brought the handroid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think the chains would have done a little bit better conveying that he was locked in those bitches, because I thought that at first too, that he had like slipped free. Before
look at that! Look at those gaps, man. He could pull himself out of there.
Yeah,
yeah, but it's just like it changed. Like it seemed like he was all tightly wound up in him, and then like all of a sudden, like I don't. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
maybe there's some kind of magic around him too, like because they're glowing. You know what I mean? Like the on the top left, the panel that he's chained to, he's not. It's glowing, but the one in the foreground is not. So maybe it has some kind of an enchantment to it.
Oh, word. Could be. Yeah, and then so he essentially gets his handroid and his things back from this character who this little boy. Have we seen him before? I was struggling to remember. Have we seen or been introduced?
I would say no.
Right, because I think he kind of got planted there by this resistance group that he ends up taking him to,
right,
through the shafts or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there he meets like other members, I guess, of his. What is it, Desertonians or whatever? I guess like a band of resistors. It would seem like.
Yeah.
They're Agorian sympathizers.
There you go. Yeah.
There's Neurtonian, but they're Agorian sympathizers. If I can't, it's hard to say that one.
No, I think you got it right. Yeah, Agorian, I think. And so yeah, and then we have Homegirl left with the device that the sisters or whatever left her, and that's our cliffhanger moving into the next issue. But I thought this was solid overall. Obviously these two, their story's gonna obviously I think intertwine back in together and carry on. But I like the world building that's going on here. I think he's done a really good job through 4 issues. I need to get up on Firepower. I want to start reading that through trades because I love.
That'll be a fast read, dude. That'll be fast.
Yeah. But you've enjoyed that. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
I have my problems with it, but I think overall as a complete story, I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think they abuse. I don't know how far you want to get into this, but I feel like they abuse the Firepower ability. I like things to be a little bit more sacred, especially when it's that heavy of a thing and it's the name of the book.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather that be a pretty rare thing. In my reviews, I always talk about Dragon Ball Z. It's like, at the end of the Frieza saga, we have one instance of a Super Saiyan, but like at the end of the Buu saga, we have 15. So it's like, okay, in one saga, like kids are born with the power, and they're just like, look at this, it's a fun toy, and it's like you're kind of cheapening the thing, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like they did that too much in Firepower, but I think the overall story is pretty cool. And the last issue was killer. Like the way that they executed it, I think it was cheap but very creative, and I loved it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be wrapping up soon, correct?
Yeah.
Like for good? I think like the end.
I think so. I think it only has like an issue. Yeah, I think it only has a little bit left in it, I believe.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Rob said, "Don't listen to Nick. Firepower is dope. He's been reading too much."
Yeah. I don't. I'm not looking forward. I'm looking forward and not looking forward to my second read of Monica at this point. But yeah. For sure.
Well, don't force yourself to read it again, man.
It wouldn't be forcing. It'd be like trying to connect the dots.
You got to take that with like the day. That's got to be. You just got to embrace that. You can't.
Yeah.
Forcing yourself to. I don't know. Like that's a force read. That's an impossible force read. I feel like. If you're not ready to read it, you're not. Ready
it might be. It'd be reading it through a different lens, which is what might be interesting. Second reads are usually interesting. Yeah.
They are absolutely. Yeah. Good point. 2 more issues for Firepower. Yeah. Okay. I definitely want to check that one out. But yeah, I think this one's got. I don't know how long he's planning on going with Void Rivals, but I've really enjoyed this ride. I think the artwork has been fantastic throughout. I think the character designs, the new worlds, and all this has been super dope. So y'all enjoying this? Y'all gonna keep gonna stay on it?
Oh yeah, like Nick said it best. It's not like one of my favorites, and it's never blown me away. But every time I read it, I'm satisfied at the end. I'm like, oh yeah, I always have a good time reading this. I'm always fulfilled. So yeah, I'm definitely sticking with this.
Oh yeah,
it's got Saga vibes, to be honest with you, because we have 2 forbidden factions getting together. All they need to do is have a baby and be chased around by some robots. Oh wait, maybe they will. So yeah, that'll be interesting too. Yeah,
very true. All right, moving on. Nick's second book, Conan number 4.
Oh yeah,
the end of the first story arc by Jim Zub, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Dude, this was a great recommendation, man. I put this with like in that same category like Kaya did, like Manny recommending Kaya to me. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah,
I didn't, unfortunately, time caught up with me. I got through the first issue and a half of the back reading. I didn't get to finish because I wanted to finish the whole arc, but I really enjoyed this one just off I just knew flipping through it, seeing the artwork alone, I was like, oh, I'm going to dig this. And then getting to the story. The story was like simple, but not simple in a bad way. Simple, straightforward, exactly. But really enjoyable at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to give like a synopsis up to this point of in general, like what?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So up until this point, this is the last issue of this arc, like we just mentioned. But essentially, Conan has teamed up, and I forget what I'm bad with the tribe names and character names, so I'm just gonna forget that right there. But he is alerted that there's essentially this undead, unstoppable ancient army that has been just wiping out tribe after tribe after tribe, and he actually teams up with this this like female barbarian. I forget her name, so I apologize. And she alerts him, tells him what's going on. He doesn't really quite believe her until he sees this thing in action, and he witnesses this undead army just annihilating this tribe that he was, kind of passing through at the moment. And there are some rumors of where they're going to head next, and it's really going to mess up Conan's homeland, right? And so basically, he's trying to keep up, trying to catch up with them, and he's trying to understand the source of their power. And he kind of finds their Temple of Doom, is what I like to call it. And he infiltrates that, and he's just trying to find like the heart of this evil. And there's just so many cool things going on with the art and the lore and everything. So like you said, it's not a story that's super deep, but the items that they touch on and things are just cool. They're just really cool. And it's just a fast paced, amazing artwork, tons of action. And yeah, dude, this issue was killer too.
Yeah, and I like dark monoliths, dude. Like dark, I'm all for any story or movie or whatever that has like some like the black stone or whatever it was in this one. Like how it was like anytime there's a dark monolith involved, I feel like it's cool shit going down. But yeah. De La Torre's been the artist throughout all 4 issues, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really done a killer job, I think.
Yeah. Really good inking and everything on this. There's some just amazing coloring in here as well. So, I mean, man, yeah.
These flashback, like in the hazy dream.
Yeah. So
super dope.
So he drinks the poisonous blood, so to speak, from Temple of Doom, and he falls into this pool of eternal water that's a source of the power or the energy or the conversion method for, you know, raising this undead army. And while he's in there, he's having this psychological battle, this physical battle at the same time that would instantly overcome like any normal warrior of his time. But he has just such like the mental prowess to get through all that. And he has basically not like a flashback, but like almost like an out of body spiritual experience with a former ancestor who has experience with this kind of evil. And he kind of gives him the building blocks and the steps on how to take out this thing. And so this is the story right here that he's going through. You know, we came across this weird statue and this, you know, these monsters appeared and things like that. And we had to take them out. So he's teaching them how they handled this threat in the past. And then he has to basically muster the strength and get his forces together and overcome this evil that's poisoning his mind.
It was a great line or whatever. We brought hell to that
the curse
to that cursed cliff or whatever. Yeah. It was such like a great. I love that, like that line and that build up with that page. It was fire.
The verbiage. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, that was my bad. This is Ren. I was gonna say the artwork kind of gives me like Joe Kubert vibes.
Yeah,
certain panels.
Yeah, I think Robbie said Buscema as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things going on. Absolutely. But the writing is the voice of the writing is right on. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's not too cumbersome. Like if sometimes you read these kinds of books and there's a lot of like dialect and
or I don't know, speech
slow. Exactly. Or anything. Well, I'm not even gonna say it because he's gonna blow up on me if I say it. He'll probably mention it in the chat. A lot of slurs and things like, or whatever, right? A lot of other words, but this one, it doesn't bog you down, but it definitely puts you in that vibe and it makes you feel like this is a real thing happening. So
I feel like the danger sometimes with these characters is they get too dumb and violent with it. You know what I mean? But this one found a way to walk an edge where it was like, it was still well told. And like, I guess through like some of the narration and stuff, he was just able to I don't know, use bigger words, I guess, in a sense, you know, but to get a little bit more poetical in spots that he couldn't through this dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was well done. But like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I interrupted.
No, I was just gonna say, like, he doesn't, like, the character, like Conan doesn't come across like too clunky or boorish, or like, I thought he was right. Like you said, he really nailed the voice, I thought. For me, for what little I know of the character.
Yeah, and the confidence that that Conan has in a regular battle might seem arrogant or might seem like, dude, just get over yourself. You know, like, yeah, you're Conan, you're great, but like, you know, at least pretend like the other guy has a chance. You know, like there could be an arrogance that would come off in the dialogue, but like this book right here, he handles all these situations in a way that some of it shows a lot of humility. Because he goes into this threat like, oh, I'm a big badass, and then he gets his ass kicked a couple times, and it's just like, okay, I need to slow down a little bit. So he loses that like macho vibe a little bit, but he's always pushing forward because that's all he knows how to do. He's like the prime specimen, right, of his breed. So like he has to push through no matter what. And it was just a cool book.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for the recommendation. Link, how'd you feel about this one, bro?
I enjoyed it. I only read this issue, I will be honest, but this was, I'm trying to get back into that. But for years I just had this whole chronological, I gotta read number one, or I gotta read it in order. I can't just pick up, but it's like I'm trying to get back to like the old days, or it's like all of us, good portion of us did not start issue one. We jumped in the middle of a series and found our way from there. So I've just been trying to read like single issues to see if it will still hit me or not. And this was a solid issue. Like you said, the comparison to Kaya was a good one. It made me want to go back and read the other issues to get caught up to this. And I'm not too familiar with Conan myself. I've read like a few Cole the Conqueror comics from Dark Horse back in the day. And I think Fable was telling me that's like his ancestor or some shit like that. Because I thought they were the same thing. I thought, but yeah, I know of the world, but I'm not too familiar with it. But this was a good primer. Maybe want to dive into that.
Yeah.
So
low commitment too. There's just 3 other issues. So low commitment, great art, cool writing. Yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah. How did you? Why did you decide to take a chance on this one, Nick, or give it a shot?
It's 2023, and that means there's foil covers out the ass nowadays. So when I was at my shop and I was pre-ordering books, I saw FOC. I saw a Virgin variant. What was it? Maybe a movie homage or something like that, and it was a foil. And so I was like, that looks dope. And I don't know anything about Conan. It's a #1. Why the hell not? And we had Fire and Ice come out recently, and they have like the same cadence almost. So I went ahead and grabbed both of them, and then I read the first issue of Conan. I was like, this is nuts. This is so good. Where has this been my whole life? Is that why everyone loves this character? I mean, like, I've seen the movies and stuff, but like this is so cool. So I definitely just like fell in love in the issue 1. It was just on a whim. I was like, yeah, it's a #1. Why not?
Hell yeah.
And I think Zub was writing a little bit of Conan when he was over at when Marvel had him. I don't think he was writing like the main book, but I feel like I seen Zub's name on a Conan book over at Marvel. Like, how many Conan books do they have? And did they relaunch Savage Sword of Conan, or it was like something? It was like Conan the Barbarian, and then there's like another Conan book Marvel had going on.
No
I
idea.
don't know. So is back when is this why they killed him off in like the Savage Avengers or whatever? Didn't that happen earlier in the year? Is this why were they lost the character? So they had to, because I remember some writer took over that title or something, and they did that early on, and people were unhappy with it. But I guess that's why they did it in hindsight. But,
I don't know what the stipulation is. I don't know if they had like the solo rights to him for a number of years, or if like they can still use him in teen books, but not solo books. I'm not sure how it works out, but I think they did lose the rights outright.
Interesting. Okay. And here's some
Savage Sword. Thank you.
This one right here shows like Thor, essentially like Asgardian, Norris type folk coming over there, and now they find that black stone, so like to be continued. So that'll be
that's a nice little setup right there.
Yeah. That was dope. That was a dope ending panel.
Yeah, but like that panel right there, the top, not the top one, but the one below it on the right, where it says the sword going in with the skull sitting there with all like the lead. Like I love that panel. I loved it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Which one?
Go back to where you were.
Oh, where I was.
It's on the top at the bottom, at the very top, like the second horizontal panel.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like the sword sticking out the ground and the skull.
Yeah.
I just loved that. I stayed at that panel for a minute. I was like, this is awesome. I don't like aesthetically, I just loved it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree with Fable. Every Conan book should have great art. I think it's definitely like a character that lends itself to big epic sequences, and like just the nature of his world and what he does. I think is what you want to see. You want to see that epicness on the page. But this is great. I think like those books that you can pick up randomly, like as a kid, you remember the books you would randomly pick up in a series or out of continuity or whatever, and then you want to go back and explore more. I thought this was one of those type of books for me. So I appreciate the recommendation. I'm definitely gonna try to go back and finish up, and then look forward to what's coming next from this guy.
This
for sure.
Particular panel, it reminded me of, and it's since we had brought him up earlier. Forget the writer, but it came out 2010, 2011. I think it was called Thor: The Mighty Avenger. But I know Chris Samnee was the artist on it, and it was a beautiful book. It was actually a really good book. But this panel right here reminds me of something you'd see in that. So if you guys like that, check that out.
Okay.
Cool. Will do. All right, Link, you're up next with Drive Like Hell #1 was your second.
Drive Like Hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
What made you pick this one, bro?
I'll be honest. Random pull. I was like, it sounds cool. I like McCormick as an artist. I'm not familiar with the writer, but I was like, I'll give it a chance. It's Halloween or day before Halloween. I was just in the horror mood, and I was like flipping through this, and I like the little Southern twang, the charm it has to it. Like this is like a Southern supernatural story. not a heist. It's got part of a heist, kind of heisty-ish, but
yeah, for sure.
There's this movie that came out a few years ago, had Daniel Craig, Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, something about Lucky Logan or something. But it reminded me of that, like the vibes. And so I just thought that was kind of cool, you know. And this was really just a chance. I read this on a whim, but I thought it was fun. You know, it wasn't too crazy, but it was a nice little supernatural getaway movie or book. But
yeah, what's the implication here? We got demons as cars, or basically like
kind of.
Well, the devil is it. The devil.
I got the vibe that the car is like an evil kit, but it's. Right. I'm assuming like some demon lord's car, and it has its own spirit or something like that, or it might be the devil's car or something like that. But this guy is he's a getaway driver, and he's gonna of course in on a heist, and he steals a demonic possessed car, and some bad mofos are after it and him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still curious to me how a demonically possessed car.
Well, so it's like imagine like Constantine. Imagine like in Constantine, where like the world there's like demons all over in the world, but like they need their own spirit of vengeance, right? So like they have this demonic car that has unknown powers, but we know of one that happens, and we know of a couple like flame things and whatnot. But the assumption here is like this car has untold power to it, and it's not positive, right? So and to pull off this heist, this guy steals the car the day before. Unbeknownst to him, this thing is possessed in some kind of a way. And then here's our scene right here where I think this is the scene right here where we see like the first display of power that this car has, which is resurrecting this the girl who robbed the bank or whatever it was in the previous panel when she got shot in the head by the police or the demons that were chasing her.
Yeah, so it went. It went south. Like the bank robbery went south. She came out. She had already been lit up, quick. And then I guess she got shot again because they had stole the car the day before. The demon tracked him down and at the bank robbery during the robbery itself, and just started unloading on them. And ended up getting the shots off. But it's brought her back to life. I like that scene when she was smoking a cigarette, and it's just all the smoke's just flying
out the back of her.
That was a great little visual. But
I love that. He's pulling out, and he's like, "Fuck! I just stole your car,
Delilah." Yeah. Yeah, it was. I
don't know, but I like the possibility here too. Like with him, he's obviously going to want to hold on to this car to keep his girlfriend alive in some type of way. You know what I mean? Like it's going to.
Oh, that's true.
He's going to want to like maintain that relationship or like not say goodbye to her. But I don't know. So, but this guy also has the ability. Curiously,
transform.
He can transform other cars into. So, but I guess this one is particular to him. I guess you don't steal the devil's car or a demon's.
Yeah, it's like stealing John Wick's car.
Yeah,
he wants it back.
Give me like agent vibes from the Matrix, where they just like they can just. I mean, I don't know the rules to it yet, but they just kind of possess people when they who's nearby. We're just gonna hijack your body, because that's what they did with some of these police officers here. It was a fun issue. Interesting to see what it is.
It was a wild ride, dude, for issue 1. It was a lot of fun.
He turns the
I didn't know
is great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say he turns the cop into the pigs from Duke Nukem, Time to Kill, or Duke Nukem in general.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's a police officer that turns into a monster pig. So that's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, damn, dude, he turned him into some Duke Nukem pigs, man.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm keen to for the rest of the series then, because I did collect and read Sea of Sorrows, and I really dug that. I didn't know there's the same artist. I mean, the same writer as it was for this series. So that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good looking book too.
Yeah, man. This is the art. Like you definitely can't argue with this artwork. It's crazy.
I like that panel where he's like blowing the smoke at the cop who's in the upside down car.
Oh yeah, igniting the flames too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah,
that was gangster.
Oh
yeah, good pick, dude.
It was some fun. It was
exciting. Yeah,
nice
well, sometimes that's all you want / need from a book. You don't need a philosophical expose every time.
Yeah, for sure. No, it was a fun book.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last book of the night. Boom. What a banger this was. I don't even know how to talk about anything except the art. As the story was solid. I'm a Bela Lugosi fan. I'm not like a diehard with the movie. I don't know it like up and down, but I've seen it before a couple times. I love like how it treated all the characters from that, and I love the way the story's going. But the art, dude, was just the unbelievable start. I mean, just like I had to pick straight up. First of all, the covers. Dracula covers.
Is that Cassidy on the right hand side? Is that John Cassidy?
I don't.
For the first batch of covers.
I don't know.
No, awesome. I don't believe so.
Okay.
But my favorite was this, and this is going to be connecting, I guess, the Jason Sean Alexander joints. I just love the look of that one on the right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's going to be I think a connecting one that's going to have like the woman's face or whatever for the.
Oh, that'll be cool. I wonder how far they'll go. Is it just do you know if it's 2 or if it's 3? It would be awesome either way, I guess.
I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, it is JC, bro.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Even cover A was beautiful for that. Like I saw cover. I mean, look at that.
So A's crazy.
Damn good, Martin Simmons.
Like, none of these were misses though.
No, you couldn't go wrong either way.
I leave Scotty Young. Scotty Young.
Is that a Scotty cover? I didn't see
Scotty
that.
on the left. Like something not mini me from Scotty. I'm always happy to see.
Can I throw?
Yes.
And then yours. There's yours, Nick, on the right, or it looks something like that. There you go. That's the Onion Club.
That's the Onion Club one. Yeah.
Yes.
It's foil, so you can't. It's black and white foil, so it like does not come across on camera. But yeah,
that's clean.
Yeah, dude, I was really happy about that one.
Oh yeah,
that was good. That was good.
Tula Lotte next to it. I love like the sensuality of that giant. Like that's fire. Robbie says it was Josh Middleton. That first one this first one on the right is Josh Middleton.
On the right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, covers are crazy. Not a bad one in the bunch.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. How did you guys overall thoughts on this one? We don't. I know it's getting late. We don't have to go super heavy into the story if you guys don't want to. But the art to me, it was just like, I mean, I went through. This was the type of book I went through a couple of times before I even read it and just looked at all the visuals. It was just that breathtaking and gorgeous to me. Those are really special type of books. But yeah, overall, Nick, what were your feelings on this book, bro?
I when I got through the end of this book, I had kind of mixed emotions on it, and then I flipped through it again, and there's one panel, we'll probably get to it at some point, where Renfeld's like sitting there and all these like spiders or whatever they were just start crawling out of him, and they're up, and so Martin Simmons has like this wide shot, right? And then he has these panels that are inlaid on there that show close-ups of like, I think it's like his face and his hands and things like that. It freaked me out more than it should have. But I was like, this is like hauntingly beautiful. Like every page in this book, I'm very, very close to saying this is my favorite Martin Simmons artwork in composition of any of his books that he's done. I'm very close to saying that, and I think that I'd be in pretty good company if I said that. So I'm like, I think this is one of the most beautiful books I've ever read, and it was great, man. It was so good, really, and the story's fine as well. You know what I mean? Like, it was very captivating. There's this ominous threat coming. It's building very slowly. Nobody believes him because it's the modern time at that time. So why would you believe in this, like, weird myth right out there.
Right.
And so we've evolved past that. How can that possibly exist now? And so it's just like this inevitability that's coming. And it's just absolutely beautiful how they showed that threat building and how he's amassing like his strength and things like that. And it was hauntingly beautiful. And it's a great book.
I love that shot right there where it shows him like moving on the chick, and then he pulls back. The previous page you showed gets the chick, and then he just showed just gorgeous shit.
Look at that.
Yeah,
and I love the wolf. The wolf like gives you that sense of violence about it, like just like just like how it's predator and prey. It's just so great, dude. And like that look right before he like digs in. It's just so many. It's just like for parts of it, I'm glad they just let the art speak for itself. I thought they did a good job of not being too verbose or wordy with it, and just getting out of the way of the art and just letting that really.
I think. Did you guys read the little memo, whatever you want, the note Tynan left at the end of the first issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, he more or less said that I think he's definitely writing this book in mind, like to the strength of Martin Simmons,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is a book that's definitely just he might not taking a backseat because he's Tynan, but I think this is more of a vehicle for Simmons just to pop off.
And I'm down.
The Tynan book where he's just writing some. Don't get me wrong. I think the story's going to be good, but I think the star of this is Simmons.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just like the atmosphere, the atmospheric way that they're going about it, just like it's just right in his wheelhouse, and his ability to. I think where like some of it with Department of Truth got muddy, here it's just so succinct, and like the way it's colored and just the way the way he's constructing things. I just think he's really elevated his game to another level, I think, for this project. I think there's definitely you can feel Tinian's love for the character and what he's trying to do through the words but like you can definitely know Simmons has got some heart and soul for this character and love for this character that he's definitely channeling some like that he had, I think, before he got to this project. So I'm glad. Again, Skybound does such a good job, I think, of lining up the right creators for these projects. But yeah, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No worries. Like in his therapy session here, it's brilliant because like he's talking about this force coming, right? And we need to prepare for it. And I love that shot where you see the therapist and he's sitting across from Renfield, and you see like this splatter of something coming off of his head. That might be like the bugs. I got to go back and like look at that. But we start seeing the bugs slowly coming out of him. And like you see that close-up shot of his mouth and of his grin. And I think if you have the next page on your slide here, that on the left.
That's the one you were talking about.
That was the page that I sat on for a full 5 minutes. And I was like, this is incredible. Like, look at that. Look at that coloring.
So
and
great,
that.
Dude.
Oh my God. And it's crazy.
Oh man, it's so creepy. I love that line. He's got, "Your blood is not mine to take," or something. Such a great line. Like so many great little moments like that. But yeah, just
so good. It was so good.
It was fantastic. It was everything I could have wanted and more. Just growing up, my mom was a huge Universal Monsters fan, so like watching those movies with her, and Robbie's been saying in the chat that it's elaborating on and he said in that review it's elaborating on the movie script and taking the characters in new directions as well. And I think that's all great. I hope they just keep it nice, short, and concise, and just let it be one of those incredible works of art that can stand on its own, and artist editions and hardcovers and all that for years to come. Because I think it could definitely go down as one of those. I hope they don't try to like do spin-offs, and you know what I mean? I think just let's have these be like 5-6 issue things.
Yeah,
do Frankenstein or
it's just a few issues.
Yeah,
it's just a few. I was gonna say don't think about giving us 12 issues of this. Like as much as I would love to see that, like I just want a super tight, just amazing, down to the fucking point book, right? Like, and I think that's what we're gonna get. So
yeah, hell yeah. Have they announced any of these other Universal Monster creative teams or projects? I haven't heard or seen anything, but I didn't know if y'all had.
I can't recall.
I'd be curious to see or wonder what's coming next, but
yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys. Well, those are our books, guys. I appreciate it. Let me just real quick run through what we got coming out this week. And the PCP schedule for this week as well. Detective Comics, they've been doing issues every week now, Nick.
Well, this past one was like did you read this past one yet, this week's?
I have not.
It's like 4 pages, and then there's another story, and then there's another story, and then there's like 4 stories in this next issue. And yeah, but it's a great issue though. Like it's
dude,
awesome.
we were talking, I wanted to bring this back up when we were talking about, because I forgot to mention Evan Cagle's covers on this book have been fucking unholy.
Oh, yeah.
This one for on the right for Detective 1073, that's like one of the best covers of the year. All of these covers have been freaking immaculate works of art. So that guy deserves all the
cover A's. Yeah,
yeah, man, he's been killing it.
So good.
Yeah, they've been so excellent. I wanted to give that guy a shout out. Oh, Robbie says it's probably Frankenstein next. So yeah, I would. Yeah, okay.
I wonder what I wonder who the team is on that. I wonder who's going to draw that. That's going to be interesting. Trying to think who I'd want to draw that, but anyway,
I don't know. Somebody like
I think I want someone really scratchy and sketchy for Mummy. For like Frankenstein,
I want like a Bill Sienkiewicz for like Mummy.
Oh yeah, like ghostly and shit.
Yeah, that would be dope. Ben Temple-Smith.
Ben would be good.
Somebody who does like detailed ultra-violent shit, because Frankenstein's going to get ultra-violent at some point. So
right,
that's going to be the I don't know, but then you could go a different direction with it and like really go with the humanity side of the. I don't know.
That's true. If you want to keep it more in like the vibe of what we've seen in Dracula so far, where it's kind of heady, and ghostly,
Well, what's the other one? What's the other? It would take 20.
Jeff Darrow did it. Yeah, no kidding.
Tommy Lee Edwards.
That would be fire, though, man. That would be some great like head splitting and shit like that. Anyway, all right, moving on. X-Men, Venom. I haven't been. I gotta get caught up back with X-Men and the Follow X on that side of things. Either y'all been keeping up with that? You like it, Nick?
I'm a little behind.
Yeah, Steph, are you reading those?
I'm a little behind. But yeah, I'm caught up for the most part. I'm like a week or 2 behind though.
Yeah, I fell off of Venom a while ago, but I keep in touch with X-Men. Like I know what's going on in this past issue. And it's pretty cool what's going on inside that one, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't pay too much. I'm not as close as I was. But yeah.
Yeah, same. I got to get back into that. I like seeing Juggernaut on the cover though. I hope it's a good Juggernaut story. I always enjoy a good Juggy. Avengers #7. I'm gonna keep up with it. I'm gonna keep on this. Are you staying with it, Nick? You gonna keep giving it a shot?
Yeah, because I like McKay, and I thought the first arc was okay, So I want to see what the long-term effect of the first arc is, and they got a base. So it gave us 6 issues to get a base, and we haven't seen the Avengers actually fight a threat yet. So it's like, okay, well, what do you got for the second arc? I trust him, so let's go.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do the Kang. If Kang's going to come into play with the whole timeless thing that he was supposed to be setting or working towards. But
what a weird thing to abandon, like in the first issue.
They kept playing around with that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if with gauging Marvel's need for synchronicity with the movies as of late, the last few years, if those reports for Jonathan Major or anything indicator, I can kind of see why they backed off from if they're gonna push King as a movie villain, I can see them going full throttle with this in the Avengers comic. But if they're holding off on Jonathan Majors, they might reposition the King storyline, since But that's
Robbie with the pun of the night right here. Hey. I swear to God, though, if they rush Doctor Doom and they fucking fry Doctor Doom again for like the 4th time, man, they cannot get Doom wrong again. So that's all I ask is if we do Doom, we Doom proper. Let's have him like just eviscerate Kang in the worst way. Like that can be his introduction.
You need to read X-Men 28. You need to read the last X-Men, Stu.
I know. He's showing up with his own team of mutants, right? I know that's
all I'm going to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I like Fable, Daniel Warren Johnson and Wolfman. I love that call. And then Robbie said James Herron on Frankenstein. I love both of those recommendations. Oh yeah, I bet. Dark Droids, Nick, you're into this one, right? You've been enjoying that?
I've been reading the Dark Droids spinoff, not Star Wars.
Is this a?
That's Star Wars 40. So Dark Droids, like I don't know where we're at. Where are we at? Like 5 or something like that nowadays? I can't remember.
Is that a crossover type deal?
Yeah. So they made a Dark Droids like limited, and then this is like the bleed into all the ongoing.
Oh, heard that. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine.
Newest Ultimate, I guess book.
Yeah,
that
was good.
The next one. Do you enjoy it? I haven't got it yet. Do you like that one?
Yeah, I did like that one. So we're playing in that bubble. We're playing in that bubble that the maker has created now. So we have all these Marvel heroes that their origins never happened because of him, and he has a log of all these heroes, and so. It's going to be cool to see the alternate origins for all these characters, and we teased that a little bit on Blame Fable Show. We're looking at the Marvel books coming up soon about Peter Parker being in his 30s, married to Mary Jane, and having a couple kids. He didn't get his powers until he was an adult. You know what I mean? So like, what does that mean for the universe? How is those powers going to manifest separately or differently than our origin story? And in this issue here, you see a lot of different people on the cover. To kind of give you a hint of who we're kind of tackling first. So it's going to be really interesting to see the different origins and how they all come together. And then what's the long-term effect of that, if anything, So,
okay. So do we see some more Blue Doom in this issue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Spawn continues killing it with these covers, dude. Spawn's always like that great covers, no matter what. Doctor Strange, I fell off of this one like a couple issues ago. I got to get back on it.
Yeah, me too.
Alex Ross, good lord.
Yeah, so good.
Every single time. The Gotham War continues with yet another #1 spinoff. I won't be reading this one. I guess Zdarsky and Howard are still doing the team 'em up writing on that. I'll keep reading Batman, but I don't know. And it's kind of bothering me they're putting the conclusion to the storyline in this, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You getting this one, Nick?
Can you have his name on some books that sell?
That's it. They keep calling prison.
Here we go.
I
shouldn't even brought up her name.
What did we do? No, I mean, like whenever that book's not selling, they call prison and they're like, "Hey, listen, we need another commission, man. We got to sell a book.
Yeah.
We got to sell a book." I wonder what the sales are for this. Robbie's here. Are you selling a lot of Catwoman books, or is this tie-in working? I'd be interested to know. But
yeah,
the DNA covers. So DNA's been doing the covers on those, right? Too.
They're killer covers.
Yeah, they're the David Nakayama covers. Spider-Boy #1. They're really doing it. So.
Oh, they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it, bro. I
hope he hits every window on the way down, dude. I'm not for this. But go ahead.
I mean, I say this based off my kid's interaction with Spider-Man. He loves Spidey and his amazing friends. I could easily see a character like Spider-Boy appearing on that cartoon because they're just a gang of Spider friends that hang out and take out villains. Why not add another Spider character to that? Make it a Spider team. They're definitely trying to just recreate a Miles element. There's a certain degree of that, but
yeah,
when new characters come along all the time, like I'm intrigued by Spider-Boy.
I know. I just don't. The way this one was presented just felt off from the beginning to me. But that's just me. Just Dan Slott announcing it on Twitter, kind of deal, and like from there, it kind of poisoned the well for me, I guess, in a sense.
What major moments aren't broadcasted months before they happen nowadays, though?
I don't know. I just don't like the writer doing it though, and like I'm all for like trying to sell your own shit and stuff like that, but that just, I don't know.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it creates a false like spec, right? So, and I mean, it would be a key issue regardless because it's a new character technically, but like, yeah, when you're if you're the creative team and you're blowing it up before FOC, it's like that's what the previous catalog used to do with solicitations, like potential new sidekick for Spider-Man or something like, you know what I mean? Everyone will, oh, did you read that? But like, we need another avenue to blast that out so we get our numbers up, and it's fine. And like, they go over his origin and stuff in this issue, and it's okay. I mean, this is the first Spider Boy book I've read. I didn't read any of the other Spider Boy stuff that has come out so far, so I have nothing. Right. I don't know anything about him. So this is my first introduction.
It just feels like Slott is like, and I'm not mad at him because he's trying to get a check, but he's just like, this is him refusing to go quietly into the night. Like he's kind of like at the end of his Marvel time, and he's just like throwing all the Spider ideas against the wall and hoping, like, he got the Edge of Spider-Verse thing to stick for a while, and now he got Spider-Boy. Like I'm sure this was his end goal here when he announced it. At first, announcing the character in the other series was to get here to #1 and be writing another Spider series. Yeah. So I don't know, but I feel Bendis, like I know the guy's done so much for the Spider-Man in general, and I know he's like, he had like the almost decade run on the character or whatever. But at the same time, you have to like know when to say no to some of these guys, and sometimes I just feel like Marvel
Bendis didn't know when to say no. Bendis, I'm just saying it happens. It's everyone can. It can happen to everyone. Like, even some Bendis greatest Marvel runs.
I'm just talking about editorial more than Dan Slott. Like, editorial can say, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. Have we seen this character without his mask on at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so it's not.
Isn't he like a little redhead kid?
Okay, sure.
I wasn't sure.
I don't know. I think so, but I could be wrong.
He is, but there's another side. Okay, but maybe not. Okay.
Is he Asian?
I don't think he's Asian. I don't think he's Asian, but there's definitely another side to him, like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of a thing going on.
Oh, okay.
And it goes over all that stuff. And anyway, I think he ripped off Bootleg Spider-Man. I think Dan Slott read Bootleg Spider-Man from Naughty Kenny, and he was like, "Man, I'm going to make a Spider-Man that looks like a spider, and here's my Spider-Boy, and I'm going to kill everybody except for him, so they have to use him in the future."
And Nick exposed it all here. You heard it here first. Folks.
You heard it here first. He ripped off Naughty.
All right, moving on. Sacrifice is 4, or is it 5? No, 4. Yeah, I've been loving this book. I can't wait to see where it goes and read this new issue.
Yeah,
I read that
earlier. I read it earlier today, I think, or yesterday.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Link, I know you're going to be reading this one too. We'll probably be covering that one next week, because that's been a series. Magneto, I haven't been reading, but this Thirst Trap cover got me, bro. I think this is
really.
Jack. Will Jack.
Yo.
I stared at this one longer than I'm willing to admit on camera. Let me stop talking so loud before my wife hears. But yeah, bro, this one got me.
This was good, man.
Sure. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Another Usagi Fire and Ice entry.
Homage cover to Usagi's first appearance as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't know why Ice Cream Man's in there. Red Light #1. This book looked kind of interesting, and I like AWA releases generally. I might want to check that. Are you getting that one, Nick?
We got short. Yeah, it was on my poll. I didn't get it though. So I don't know what happened to it. It might show up next week. I don't know. I have no idea.
All right, heard.
Yeah.
Traveling Mars continues with #9. One of my favorite series out.
I read that today.
I don't think it's getting talked about enough.
I love it.
Mark Russell's the man.
Yeah.
Midnight Show. I kind of enjoyed #1. I think I might check out #2. But yeah, Tear Us Apart #3 coming out. Link, did you ever catch up? We read #1 on the show. Did you ever read #2? It wasn't half bad.
I'm having like time, bro. I can't believe these books are coming out so quickly. Yeah. Like I don't feel like
we're already on #3, bro.
Right, yeah. Right.
Yeah, so #3, I got to catch up with this one, and then Alice Cooper #2. Rodney Barnes writing that one.
Oh, nice.
I heard #1 was pretty rad. So
yeah, it was Robbie's pick of the week, #1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then Rodney came on the show. He's a cool dude.
Oh yeah, that was a great interview. Mm-hmm. All right, this week coming up from PCP, Geeks Unleashed just dropped a new episode on the Blade TV series featuring none other than Onyx's Sticky Fingers, which ran on Spike, I believe.
They look just like the Buffy vampires too when they transformed. They had the face and everything. I think they used the same makeup team, but
oh yeah, that was a moment in time.
It was better than the third movie they almost made.
Yeah,
made it.
That they almost made.
Big Herm yesterday had the Amazing Collected show. Yesterday y'all checked the rewind on that, and then I think Sunday at a time to be determined over on his YouTube, he's going to have his usual ASM review with Tom, issues 29 and 30. So go listen to them. Try to find something good about ASM. Of course, your boy Nick already got his new comic book day haul out, and the FOC cut off
cover. Yeah, Nick knew. He knew.
Come on. Look at that double dose. Look at the double dose.
Good call, bro. Because I would have kept it moving.
I always try to find one and put it on there. I know how the algorithm. It doesn't work for me, but I would imagine that it would be the case. You know.
Oh, that made my night. That's great. I'm not mad at you, Pam. Get it how you live.
No, get paid.
Yeah.
And you got the Ultimates right there next to it. Come on, that's
right.
You threw in Traveling to Mars. I think how you threw in Traveling to Mars. You threw
behind my elbow. I did.
Oh, Nick got a book for him, a book for me, and a book for you. He knew what he was doing.
Dude, do you think this just happens? No, this is all planned.
My boy my boy's right now algorithm. Talk to him, Nick. Talk to him, dog.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to kick in still, but I'm trying, man.
And of course, don't miss Nick at Night. Nick, what time do you usually drop Nick at Night? Because I always listen to it when I get off work. So
7 p.m. Saturday night, 7 Central on Saturday nights.
Central. Yeah, and y'all make sure you check it out, man. Honestly, one of the very best review shows out here, man. Nick does a great job with that one.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And of course, catch him with Fable, Blame Fable this Saturday, 1:00. They got the real Dracula's Wolf, a legend over on Facebook apparently. So yeah, y'all check it out as they welcome him. What else we got? Of course, we were all on last night for Halloween, reviewing Rob Zombie's Halloween. Myself, Link, and Fable. Y'all make sure you go check the rewind on Bruno's channel, Blood Splatter Chatter. And that will do it. Nick, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Comic Book Community Awards are going on right now. So make sure you're going in there and voting for your favorite YouTube celebrities in all those different categories. And I will say that a vote for Pop Culture Philosopher's monthly comic book review show is a vote for myself as well. So if you feel so inclined and you want to support the channel in an extra way, go ahead and vote for that as well, because we want them to print as many trophies or whatever plaques that they can possibly print for the collaborative category. So, but yeah, check it out and vote for your favorite people. I think voting's on for another like 2-3 weeks, something like that. So yeah, hop over there and vote, and yeah, that'd be cool.
Absolutely. Link, how about you? You got anything you want to say to people before we get out of here, brother?
No, thank you guys for your time. Nick, glad this was a blast. Happy that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've done too much with Nick in the last couple months. So this was cool. I know we did Verno.
We did Verno. We did a Fable show a little while ago. So we've been teaming up more and more, which is a thrill.
Yeah, you were on Blame Fable a week ago, bro.
I was. I was in the passenger seat, and no, I'm kidding. But no, this was a blast. Anyone who's tuned in or tuning in on the rewatch, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Absolutely. Thank everybody for coming through. Nick, thank you for making time for us as always.
Guys, thanks for having me. I love the show and everything. Been a long time fan. So I love you guys. You guys are great. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for being a part of the show. We hopefully see you next Wednesday at 9. We don't have a guest lined up, but we'll have somebody in here. Until then, y'all be safe out there. Be excellent to each other. And peace. Later, y'all.
Station, y'all.
There we go.